Greetings. My name is Steve Kilpack, and I'm here to give you a quick tour of ETO today. I am the ETO administrator for Turnkey, as well as many other agencies across the state, and help Turnkey and others with support for their users. So this video is intended to be a companion to the Turnkey ETO procedure manual that you probably have as well. And I want to just give you a quick tour. I found that some people learn best by just diving in and doing it, some by reading a manual and some by watching a video, or a combination of all three. So ETO stands for Efforts to Outcomes, and it's essentially an online web-based or cloud-based data management system. It's designed for nonprofits, and it is used across the globe. In Ohio, many fatherhood and reentry agencies use it, and they're on an enterprise that I'm lucky to manage. So as a user to ETO, I want to show you how to log in and just do a quick navigational tour with you. Before we start, just to mention that ETO is compatible with any browser that you are comfortable using and any device, from a telephone, smartphone to a tablet, iPad, laptop, or desktop computer. So you should be able to just jump right in with your login. Your username when you log into ETO will be the email that Turnkey provides me for your as your work email, and your temporary password the first time you log in will be dads2b, where D is dads is capitalized and B is capitalized with the number 2 at 2021. So to log in, you will come to this page, and the way to get here is etosoftware.com, or the folks at Turnkey will give this address to you, and then you'll put in that temporary password. And this is, you should bookmark this page because this is where you'll log in every time, and it's fine to save your password. If you ever have trouble logging in, just contact me directly and I'll see if there's something that needs to be tweaked with your account. So the first time you log in, you'll be taken to this page where you'll check to make sure your name is correct, enter your address, or your zip code. Your email address should be correct if you got in. Put in your time zone, and we are UTC 5 hours Eastern time, and then you create a new password for yourself, one that only you know, to keep your account secure. That's one thing that we always want to make sure is that the user data or the participant data that you're connected to is secure, and so we work really hard to do that. So then click save, and it's telling me that my password did not have the right things in it. I'm still not, there we go. So now you're logged into ETO, and you'll land on this page every time you log in. I do want to mention also we have two-factor authorization on our account. So about once a month, the system will send a code to your cell phone and ask you to input that before you log in as another safety measure. So when you come into ETO, I want to give you a quick tour of what you see. You are on what we call the My Dashboard, which is a place, is your landing page. And as you use ETO more and more, this will be a place that you'll see the most recent information that you've entered into ETO. You'll see participants that you've worked with, and you'll be able to link directly to their dashboards, and you'll see touch points that you enter. You'll be able to go to edit, view, or manage those. I'll mention touch points a bit later, but just across the top here to give you an idea of what you see. This navigation bar on the left we call the gray navigation bar. If it's in your way ever, you can click these 3 horizontal lines and it will disappear to give you a little bit more screen space. There's basically 2 areas of this navigation bar that you'll use, the participant section and the touch point section. And when you click on those titles, other options come up underneath them. So these are the 2 areas that you'll work in primarily, and I'll talk to you a bit about them later. This is the link to get you back to my dashboard from wherever you are in the system, this little speedometer. And then as we move across, we see that we are on the Turnkey Development Institute site and that we're in the Dads to Be program. There are 2 programs on the Turnkey site, Dads to Be and Families First, and you all will have access to both of them. So if you click this change button, which is a pencil, you can switch back and forth between the programs. You'll see that we're now in the Families First site. And then over here, you'll see your name and your user status. And if you click down here, this is where you go to log out. If you get a new phone number, you can change it there and manage my account. You can change your password yourself, that kind of thing. And then directly underneath here is a really valuable bar that we call the quick search bar. This allows you to search for participants in the program that you're in or in the entire site. So let's just use this as an example. I created a participant earlier named with the last name of Fake, and I'm going to search for him in Families First, and he's not here, okay? Because I entered him into Dads to Be. If I searched within the entire site, he pops up there. Okay, so this is a valuable tool that I'm going to show you a bit more about later. But just we call it the quick search bar, and I'll refer to that. And then, as I mentioned, down the side here, we have some other navigational spots. All right, the main thing that you will do in working with ETO is enter program participants into the system, and then manage that information to make sure it's up to date. And then you'll enter what we call touch points for those participants. And those might be your case management notes, assessments that the participants take, surveys that they take, and outcome related measurements like job placements, that kind of thing. So the first thing then you do then is enter a participant and enroll them in the system. To do that, we go back to this participant section of the gray navigation bar and go down to add new participant. You click on that, and this brings up kind of a blank intake page that should match the intake form that you all use at Turnkey when you bring a new participant into the system. You see at the top, the enrollment program is checked. So as soon as you submit this information, they'll be enrolled. You enter the start date that they actually started in your program, and then the rest of this information. I'm going to suggest that you pause the video here and create a fake participant for yourself to help you learn how to navigate the system. Basically, all you need to do is make sure that the last name is fake, and then we can delete it when you're finished using that. And then make sure that you click save at the bottom. You can definitely enter all of this information as you go through here. I would suggest that you use the tab key to move through these items. That's a quick way to do it. And you'll get very quick at this over time. So pause the video and create your fake participant, and then we'll pick up again. All right, so now that you've created your fake participant, let's search for him and or her. And so if we put fake into the quick search bar, my Steve Fake participant comes up, and you may see yours as well. When you click, this is a hyperlink here. When you click on that name, oh, I'm sorry, I clicked too fast there. I want to go back. Actually, my Steve Fake is in Dads to Be. So I'm going to switch back to Dads to Be to manage him. So when I click on Fake, a pop-out menu comes up with various things that we can do with Steve Fake. We can go to his dashboard. We can view or edit his Add New Participant page to change any information that needs to be changed, or we can view, record, or record a touch point. I'm going to rewind here for just a minute. I forgot to tell you about how important it is to prevent duplicated participants in the system. Say you are wanting to enroll a new participant in the system named John Fake. Okay, so we want to make sure that John Fake isn't already in the system, and then we have 2 duplicate accounts for him. So there's 2 ways to do that. Through the quick search bar, you will find all of the participants in the program that you're in that are active. So if we search for Fake, as we know, just 1 will come up. Okay, so that gives you the green light to enter John Fake, and that you know that he won't be in Dads to Be. But there is a possibility that John Fake is in Families First, or is a dismissed participant. So the second step that we do to prevent duplicates is to go to Find Participant under Participants in the navigation bar and search for Fake here. Still just Steve Fake. If we searched for John Fake and we saw that he was currently enrolled, we know he's not in Dads to Be, so that would mean that he's in Families First. Or you might search for John Fake and see that he is dismissed from all programs. So the next step for either of those options, whether he's enrolled in another program or is dismissed, would be to enroll him into Dads to Be. That would save you so much time. That's why it's really important to go through this process, because it will pull all of the information that's already connected to John Fake into Dads to Be and create his account. So the way to do that real quick would be to go to Enroll Participants in the same section and put in his name, search for him. He's not, and you will see it. You would see him there because we know that he's somewhere in the system. You'd click on his. Actually, I'm going to show you a person that I know is in the system. And he's in the Family First program. Okay, so there's Morgan Zepps. Okay, so if I know he's in another program, but I want to enroll him, I'm going to click on this box next to his name, just assign the start date and then Enroll Participant. When you do that, that will create Morgan Fake or Morgan Zepps or whoever you want to enroll into Dads to Be. The other option here that I don't think you want to follow is if you forget to check for duplicates and you go through the process of entering John Fake and he is in the system, after you submit his information, the system's going to say, wait a minute, there's a John Fake already in the system. Do you want to merge that information with what we have? Or maybe you know that there are 2 John Fakes and they have different birth dates. But you will save yourself some time by doing this quick check for duplicates. All right, so back then to our Fake participant, I'm going to go back to quick search bar. And when we click on this pop-out menu, remember that I said that the first option is Steve Fake's dashboard. So we're going to click on this, and this is a place that you're going to go and work with participants on a routine basis. Every participant in the program has their own dashboard, and they all look like this. There's a box with personal participant information, and this pulls certain items from that add new participant page that are helpful to see. If you need to edit that information, you can click on this View Edit Participant button at the bottom of the box, and it takes us back to this back to this page. And you can change that information. This up here, this is a box that pulls all of the case notes that have been taken for this participant into the dashboard, so that anyone who's working with the participant can read what other users what staff at Turnkey have been doing with it. A very helpful way to keep track of things. And then this box here is a way to take all of the touch points that you might want to take for your participant. There are 15 touch points on Turnkey's site. Most for dads to be, but a few for families first. 14 of them are touch points that can be accessed from this page. So this is definitely the best place to take touch points for a participant, because it will automatically connect you to their account. So you can click this new button here, and it's going to take us to this page, which is called the Record Touchpoint page. And it also can be accessed from here, but it's much quicker to do it from a dashboard. Then you see a drop-down menu with all of the touch points that are used in Dads to Be. Just want to refer you to your fellow workers and your supervisor, and they'll walk you through these touch points, when they're taken, what kind of data goes into them, and what their importance is. They are listed all in your ETO procedure manual as well. Most of these are some of these are also in Families First, and then there's one additional touch point in Families First, the FDS survey, I believe it's called. Yeah. So after you have taken touch points, and I would really encourage you to use your fake participant to take every one of those touch points so that you get familiar with how they're set up, how data is entered, and how to present them to participants so they understand what data we're asking about. They will all populate, those touch points will populate to this box. So there's just a couple of things I want to show you in this box related to working with touch points. There's 4 icons here under the Take Action area. The eyeball in ETO is always used to view something. So if we click on the eyeball next to this touch point, we can view it but not edit it. So we just see that it was taken on the 18th and that these are the case notes. Other touch points are much longer, so you might see just 2 or 3 things here. So that viewing item is very helpful if you need to see what information has been put in that touch point. The pencil icon allows you to edit a touch point. So for this example, maybe I need to add some case notes taken after class, for example. I'm adding those case notes. We're making that edit. And you'll see, because this is a case notes touch point, that my edit has popped up there right away. The plus sign allows you to take another touch point. It's similar to this plus, but you could take another touch point in Steve Fake's name. It's ready to go there. And then finally, there is a trash can. Touch point responses are the only things in ETO that you can delete. We're trying to be very careful to never delete a participant because we don't want to lose their information. But if you know that you've made a mistake in a touch point and you need to start over, or there's something wrong with it, it is okay to delete a touch point. The other thing that you'll see with participants that you work with, and I did, Steve Fake is kind of in limbo land, so this isn't showing up here, but it's going to show what programs they're enrolled in, either Dads to Be or Families First, their start date, their end date, if they were dismissed, and what reason there is for their dismissal. And then there's just a couple other links down here, if you'd rather access other parts of ETO from the dashboard. So that's the use of the dashboard. And again, I really recommend that you operate within ETO from here, as it's the quickest way to navigate with the fewest keystrokes. And many people really like to be efficient with their use of ETO. So there's one other touch point I'm going to show you before we wrap up the video, and that is the attendance touch point. It can't be accessed from this, from a participant dashboard, because it's intended to be used for multiple participants. So this is a touch point that you will use when you basically just enter attendance for a class that you've been either taught or you've been asked to enter the attendance data. So you see I went to touch points, record touch points under that section, and this popped up, which is the same drop-down menu that we saw from the participant dashboard, except it has the attendance touch point on top. These other two sections here are give you the ability to view touch points as well, but those it's much easier to do that from the dashboard eyeball, as I showed you there. So I'm going to show you how to take this attendance touch point. It's quite easy. So when you select the attendance touch point, a list pops up of all of the active participants in the Dads to Be program. You see there are 254 current participants in Dads to Be. You'll have an attendance list next to you, and you want to just check the names of the people that attended the class. If someone isn't in this first section and you can't see them, maybe their last name is Smith, you would search for them and include them. You can actually just use one letter to search if you like, and it brings up everybody with a Z in their last name. So maybe it was Zach Geiser, or if it's a last name and you want to or just enter part of it, Johnson, I get a Johnson. All right. So we quickly search for participants, click there, the box, and then press continue. When you press continue, it's going to bring all of those folks that you selected into this touch point. You see this attendance touch point is very simple. All we're really entering is that these folks attended on this day. So we're going to record the date that they entered. So you click on the calendar pop-up, and if it's today, you just choose today, or you pick the date of the month. And then you click save. When you click save, all of this attendance information is going to populate to these 5 participant dashboards. So it's a big time saver. You can take this attendance touch point for one person at a time, but obviously it saves you a lot of time to do it for all of them at the same time. I'm not going to take it. If you remember later that you forgot to add someone to the attendance list, you can come back to this attendance touch point from any one of these dashboards through the pencil icon to edit it, and then click the add button. And you can come back to this point and add somebody to the list. So now you see Samuel Albator's on the list. All right, so that covers how we do attendance touch points, and you are familiar with the other touch points. It's a quick overview, I know. I am available to you by email, by text, and that information is in your user manual. If you have any sort of issue with the system that you need some help with. You can also always come back to view this video again, consult the manual, and you also have some really experienced users already of ETO on the Turnkey staff. So I'm certain that you'll be fine. If you do ever have a problem with your password getting into the system, it's best to come directly to me for that. There are times that you might get locked out if you try to use the wrong password for three times or so, and then I have to unlock you. If you don't use the system for a couple of months for some reason and you come back in, you might get locked out. So just send me a quick email or text with what you need, and I'll take care of it for you. So thanks very much for participating and for watching the video. I hope it's really helpful to you, and I hope that you enjoy your use of ETO, and it helps make your work with clients more productive. My goal in supporting you all with ETO is to make data easy so that you can focus on the important services that you provide clients with as much as possible, much of your time as possible. All right, take care. Thanks for participating. So long.